And we are live. I am so glad to see so many of you here. Let's get to it. Let's just dive right in. All right. We have everybody knows what's happened. It's just the big news of the day. That's why you're here. We have the letter from President Biden declaring that he will not be pursuing the nomination for his party during this election. There's really no way to sugarcoat this. There's no way to spin it to make it sound like a good thing. The why of it, we already know. We talked about that this morning. It happened for all the reasons we talked about this morning. The big conversation is what now? What now? I would like to start out by saying thank you. President Biden's been one of the best presidents we've ever had. He was willing to give the rest of his life to serve out another term to make sure that we don't have fascism in this country. I don't like the way he was treated. I don't think you like it either. This is gigantic shitburger that we're being forced to eat. But I don't have the luxury of just sitting and being mad. I don't have the luxury of getting even. I don't have the luxury of inter-party fighting and bickering, because fascism is on the move in this country, folks. And that's just the way it is. I don't have time to cry. I don't have time to scream. I don't have time to anything. I've got to get to work. I have got to get to work. And fortunately, we have a candidate that is already getting to work. Kamala Harris put this out. I prosecuted sex predators. Trump is one. I shut down for-profit scam colleges. He ran one. I held big banks accountable. He's owned by them. I'm not just prepared to take on Trump. I'm prepared to beat him. Way to go. Way to come out swinging. Way to come out swinging. Yes, President Biden wants what's best for our country. That was a great comment. I saw it. It was a great comment. So the how we got here is not a necessary conversation, because we talked about that all this morning. We went through it all. The question is, what do we do now? Well, first of all, let's talk about what this means. President Biden has bound delegates, more than enough to become president. Just a fact. Legally, he can unbind those delegates, and he can say, this is who I recommend you vote for. And he has done that very thing. He has come out and endorsed Kamala Harris, which I absolutely love, because this is a stick in the eye to those billionaire donors that forced him out. Because they forced him out. 90% of the reason they forced him out was Kamala Harris. And he's come out and he has 100% full-throatedly endorse Kamala Harris. And he's telling his delegates to vote for her. So all of those legal challenges you heard about, are we going to be able to replace them and all this other stuff, that's handled. And the reason it's handled is in part because of this. The Democratic Party has been working on a virtual roll call. The roll call vote that they have at every convention. Well, they weren't going to be able to do that this year because the Republicans tried to cheat. The Republicans tried to get Biden kicked off the ballot. There's a law in Ohio that says, look, if submitted on your party's ballot 90 days before the election, you can't be on the ballot in Ohio. The convention is scheduled to take place. Our convention is scheduled to take place starting August 19th through the 22nd. That ran into that 90 days. So the Republicans moved in the legislature, in the Ohio legislature, had moved to get Biden taken off the ballot. So the Democratic Party checkmated them, and they have set into motion a process for a virtual roll call, which means it's not going to be August 19th when we have a nominee. That virtual roll call is set to happen sometime between August 1st and August 7th. They're working out the details on it. They've already dotted the I's and crossed the T's legally. What they're working on is security, and they are working on the technical aspects for each of the delegates to be able to cast their vote. And that is going to happen in 12 to 19 days. That is why Joe Biden's nomination, endorsement of Kamala Harris is such a wonderful stick in the eye to those billionaire bastards that were trying to screw Kamala Harris. Because if you are another candidate trying to secure delegates, guess what? You have 12 to 19 days to get that done. And you can't. It's just not feasible. Is it technically possible? And are they going to try? Yes. These billionaires have money to piss away. They're going to try. They're going to try to screw Kamala Harris. They are. They're going to try to shove somebody else down our throats. But Joe Biden and several members of the establishment are already pulling to nail this down for Kamala Harris. And there just isn't time. The time is just not there. Remember, our roll call vote happens August 1st, sometime between August 1st and August 7th. They haven't announced when. Part of the reason they haven't announced when is for security reasons. They don't want Russian hackers and Republican ne'er-do-wells to be able to screw with this process. So yeah, we're going to have a presidential candidate much sooner than you might think we were. It's not going to be August 19th when it starts and then they get nominated by the 26th. It's not going to, we're not talking 4 to 6 weeks out. We're talking in probably less than 2 weeks. We will have a 100% certified, this is our candidate. The other question, I have been harping on how stupid this is because the Biden-Harris campaign has a decisive cash advantage. They've raised a lot of money, folks. I've been harping on how stupid this is because they have a ground game in place. Well, one of the first things I did when I got home today was I got on the phone with a lawyer friend of mine that specializes in this type of law. I cannot give you his name. He's on a gig right now. There are several networks that are going to bring you the same information. He is being paid by a network I cannot use his name. I cannot use his face, any of that. He is on a paid gig for a network to give you this information. He told me as a friend. Kamala Harris absolutely has access to that money. That money will default to her. All of the infrastructure, everything will default to her. She does not have to start at zero. She is starting on third base. So that question is answered. Does the Heritage Foundation have a leg to stand on? No, they do not. And that's why President Biden selflessly did this now. Because prior to the convention, it is completely legal. And people do it all the time. Second place, you've seen this before, folks. You've seen people that have been in second place that have delegates bound to them say, I'm behind our candidate. I am releasing my delegates to the candidate. This is completely legal. This is what Joe Biden just did. And the Heritage Foundation, fuck you, can do nothing about it. There is no legal challenge. Now, will they try? Yes, they will try. They will 100% try. They'll try to sue about the money. They'll try to sue, but they're going to lose. They're going to lose. This is all settled law. You can unbind delegates. This is why Joe Biden was completely unselfless, and he did this now. And I love the man for it. I really do. He did not deserve this. 2026, you sons of bitches, I've got a long memory. I've got a long damn memory. But that's not the fight today. I'm on the Harris train. What about you? All right. The big conversation that everybody's having now, and let's go ahead and do this, is VP. Let's hear it. Who do you want for VP? We're going to go through each of the candidates, talk pluses and minuses, and discuss who we think. And then at the end, I'm going to give you my recommendation, and I guarantee you none of you will have this person on your list. Who do you want for VP? Let's see it. Mark Kelly. Mark Kelly, outstanding choice, astronaut, great military career, good offset. He has national notoriety, great speaker. His wife, Gabby Giffords, was the victim of gun violence. There's a lot of positives to Mark Kelly. The negatives, if we're going to be real about it, we've got to talk about the positives and the negatives. The negatives, he is short. He's of small stature, which is a thing in politics. It is a thing. And aesthetically, not the most pleasing man in the world to look at. But all in all, I think Mark Kelly would be a fantastic choice. Pete Buttigieg is another name I'm seeing pop up quite a bit. You know me, I was a Mayor Pete guy back in 2020. I was a Mayor Pete guy during the primaries, and then I jumped on with riding with Biden, man, 100%. I like Pete Buttigieg. I do. The positives he brings are 100%. The guy is just eloquent to the extreme. Just eloquent to the extreme. He is. The guy goes on Fox News and destroys Fox News's talking points beautifully. He really does. The drawback is nationally, There are other candidates that bring more to the table voter-wise. Let me just put it that way. If you want to give him a negative, it's that. And he carries a lot of baggage, unfair baggage that the right have placed on him already. So he will excite their base. That's a negative for him, a net negative for him. Great choice. Again, when we're talking about these, I hope you're as excited as I am. I really do hope you're as excited as I am, because the bench that we have for these VP choices is insanely good. Insanely good. Another name that I'm seeing batted around quite a bit is Andy Beshear. Governor Andy Beshear. Again, Kentucky. There you go. Kentucky brings Kentucky, it makes it competitive. Not hard to look at. I put him and Josh Shapiro kind of in the same category. They bring to the table a competitiveness in their states, which is a really good thing. Josh Shapiro, we talk about those two together because they are both very similar, both very good at what they do, would both be excellent. But if I have to put a negative on Josh Shapiro and Andy Beshear, nationally, they're not the biggest draw. They're not. They're just not the biggest draw. Josh Shapiro has really no negatives within his own state. She's fantastic. She's really good. I mean, she is really good. I mean, he is really good. Pardon me. And it just does not have a lot of negative baggage within Pennsylvania. Andy Beshear, he's got a bit more. There's a lot of people that just don't like Andy Beshear. I don't know. He's just one of those people that he just elicits that. And he does not have the national draw. As far as governors go, I think my favorite choice as far as governors go is probably Gretchen Whitmer. She brings to the table Michigan. She absolutely. I mean, look at all the names. Look at all the names you're coming up with. Just fantastic. Our bench is so deep. I'm really excited about this. But Gretchen Whitmer is a hell of a fighter. National name recognition. She actually secures Michigan. Again, top tier choice. She is one of my top two choices. She really is. She is, I think, an outstanding choice. There are some people that are mentioned Beto O'Rourke. That would be no. That's really not going to happen. That's really not going to happen. There's people that are mentioning Joaquin Castro. No, that's not going to happen either. He's got a stank on him from the whole step down thing. No, I don't see it happening. I'm not crapping on it. I'm not saying I dislike the guy. I'm not. I'm just thinking he's probably not a first choice. A lot of folks are talking about Gavin Newsom. Aesthetically pleasing, very tall, like Pete Buttigieg. Outstanding in the way he debates. Incredibly intelligent. But you're talking about a California ticket. He doesn't bring anybody else to the table. Doesn't help in any of the swing states. That would be his negatives. You're talking about a California ticket. Not your most effective choice, but if he was the choice, they would kill. They would absolutely slay together. Absolutely slay together. They would. And again, I just want to reiterate, folks, as I talk about these folks, I'm talking about positives and negatives in both cases. But the negatives are not me saying, oh, I don't like this person. Not at all. Not at all. But you're getting the idea within the Democratic Party. We have an incredibly deep bench. We have a ton of people to fill out 100%, fill out an administration, to stand as VP. We are rocking. We're in great shape. The narrative in this campaign just changed. 100% just changed. And I'm going to blow your mind a little bit here, folks. This is who if I were working for the Harris campaign, this person or someone just like him would be who I would pick. I would counsel them to vet this person and go after this person. Matthew Preble says the racists must be pulling their hair out. Everything has gone sideways for them. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I have to tell you, Trump is like the dog that caught the bumper. He is freaking out about that next debate right now. He is all over Truth Social. You could tell he is crapping his pants. Joe Kennedy is another one that is a great pick. Joe Kennedy III. He's got the Kennedy name. He's well-spoken. He's a good-looking guy. He's conservative to her liberal. Joe Kennedy is one of those people that's just left of the center line. He does well with the corporate base. So yeah, Joe Kennedy III is definitely one that we could do. For you folks that don't know who Joe Kennedy III is, I didn't pull him up. Let me pull him up for you. All right, this is Joe Kennedy III. You have to forgive my internet's running a little bit slow this evening. Everybody's watching movies and whatnot. But that's Joe Kennedy III. Not a bad looking guy. Again, good stature, very well spoken, has the Kennedy name, Kennedy money. Is definitely a draw for donors. Again, we have such a deep bench, folks. Just a massively deep bench of people that she could pull from. Colonel Klink is Kamala from California or Washington, D.C. now. Forgive me. She is from California. She is 100% from California. So many great choices I'm seeing you folks put out there. Do y'all want to know who I would choose? And I hope they're listening to me. I hope they're listening to me. J.B. Pritzker, outstanding choice. That would be fantastic. Doesn't deliver any states for us that we don't already have, is his only negative. Tons of money. The guy is loaded, absolutely loaded, does well with the donor base, is really good at sparring. J.B. Pritzker, top notch. He's first tier. Absolutely. Absolutely. Harris Pritzker would be a very formidable ticket. This is my choice. Y'all want to hear my choice? This is who I would recommend. And I hope to God the Harris campaign is listening. This would be my choice. Marine Corps Commandant General Eric M. Smith. That would be my choice. And not just because he has enough medals on his chest to cause scoliosis. He is the current commandant of the United States Marine Corps. He is the biggest, baddest Marine in our government. I am glad you asked. I am glad you asked. General Smith has an outstanding record to run on. He is a hero. He is an absolute hero. For the Republicans to attack him, they have to attack his war record. Have at it. It sends a message to Putin 100%, because General Smith understands the threat that Russia poses to our country. He will support Ukraine. He will support NATO. He will support our allies. And he is a terrific balance to the ticket, because Kamala Harris already has the liberal chops. She does. She's got that locked up. She's got the domestic policy locked up. She is a prosecutor. I love the juxtaposition of those two tickets. You have on one ticket, you have a real estate developer and you have a venture capitalist on one ticket. And on the other ticket, you would have a prosecutor and a military officer, a literal hero general. You would have Putin sycophants on one ticket that are ready to just bend over and grab their ankles for Vladimir Putin. And on the other ticket, you would have two badasses in Kamala Harris and General Eric Smith. You would have pretend tough guys on one ticket that wear makeup, and you would have Kamala Harris, who stares real criminals in the eye and sends them to prison, and one badass Marine on another ticket. In every aspect of how this shakes out, I love that ticket. I absolutely love Harris Smith. And I hope to hell, because I have nobody inside the Harris campaign that I can pick up the phone and call. I don't have any contacts within the Harris campaign. I just don't. I don't even have anybody that I can call to whisper this in their ear. So I really hope they're listening. But I have to tell you, folks, this is looking good. This is looking really good. I mean, it really is. All they had was Hunter Biden and age, and they're both gone. What are you going to talk about now? Thank you. Appreciate the support, my friend. I mean, what are they going to go after now? Heading into November. Jasmine Crockett is a wonderful congressperson. She is. She's an amazing, and she has got a wonderful future in the Democratic Party. She really does. This is not her year to be on the ticket. It is just not. That's not going to happen. I love Jasmine Crockett, but she is not going to be on the ticket. But there really are just so many fantastic choices that bring so many really good things. I'm telling you, I'm actually, and I'd love to tell you that I'm happy. I'm not. I'm sad. I am. I am really sad. And I know a lot of you are too. This just shouldn't have happened. It just shouldn't have happened. They should have shown the man more respect. And right now you've got Donald Trump out there just disrespecting the shit out of Joe Biden all over the place. And I have to tell you, they don't understand. They're trying to dunk on us. They don't understand. They're just pissing us off more. They're just driving. In the description, there is a link to Kamala Harris's Act Blue account. If you want to donate to Kamala Harris, they have no idea what they're doing. They keep running their mouths. Go ahead. We're not discouraged. We're pissed. We're motivated. I'm sad as hell, but I'm not the kind of sad that says, I think I'm going to go curl up and cry and I'm not going to. No. I'm the kind of sad that is, I'm going to find out, I'm going to get me a contact inside the Harris campaign. They're going to know who Texas Paul is. They're going to be, who is this freaking cowboy out there that is flocking for us, that is making this shit happen? We got to know this guy. Thank you for the support. I appreciate you. Every little bit helps, my friend. Look, I didn't do this. I really do appreciate the support and the donations, but that's not why I did this. I did this because, when I read that letter, I was heartbroken. I really was. And I was worried about the legal aspect of it. I was very, very concerned about that because I am not an attorney. I have to rely on people smarter than me. And I dropped my granddaughter off and I didn't let her see that I was upset. Papa took her to Golden Corral because the parents weren't there and they couldn't tell us what we could and could not have on the dessert buffet. And I made sure that she had a good time. But after I dropped her off, I just sat in my truck and I'm going to tell you this. I am going to tell you this. I got a long memory. I do. I got a long memory. And 2026 is going to be a bitch for some people. It really is. I am a ride or die Democrat. I believe this. In the primaries, you fight for who you believe in. You fight for who represents your values, and you take it to the mat, my friend. When that primary is over, you walk in that booth and you vote blue. You vote Democrat because the alternative is fascism. Right now, they are so desperate to try to maintain some sort of control. They're really going to shred our government. So yeah, payback's not going to come today. And I'm going to tell people to walk in that booth and smile. You know who you are. You know who you are. I'm going to tell people to walk in that booth and I'm going to smile and vote for you. But in 2026, you'll hear me. You will hear from me. Semper Fi. So what do y'all think about Eric Smith or someone like him? Thank you for the support, folks. I really appreciate you. That's an interesting one right there, General Milley, except for the fact that he's a Republican. I'm not, I don't mind somebody that's apolitical. I don't want a Republican. I don't want a split ticket. Thanks for the support, Peter. I appreciate you, my friend. So yeah, I came home and I was upset because at that point I had to answer the legal question and I started calling everybody. Some of my lawyer friends, they're like, man, I don't know campaign law. I just don't. And I finally Hail Married in. I got a hold of a friend who actually does this for a living. And he absolutely, he does work for unions. He does work for politics is his wheelhouse. And he's like, no, she absolutely, the money is hers. The money is hers. She is not starting from zero. She is not starting from zero. I thought about Alexander Vindman. Now that somebody posts that, I thought about Alex Vindman. I really did. The negatives I came up with are aesthetically, again, not the most pleasing individual. And he's not a flag officer. He doesn't carry the same kind of weight when you're talking about international politics that someone with some stars on their shoulders would. But he is very eloquent. He is very much beloved on our side. A negative is I don't want to give a shit about MAGA, and I don't think we should choose somebody based on MAGA. But if you're going to look at the entire picture, you're going to want to look at how MAGA is going to react. They hate Alexander Vindman. That would definitely drive them to the polls. I'm not saying don't choose him for that. Just be aware that is part of the algorithm when you look at somebody like Alex Vindman. Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. It's like acceptance. I want Hakeem as Speaker of the House. Hakeem Jeffries is really politically savvy. He came up as Nancy Pelosi's protege. He really is made for that job. I think to be honest with you, I think once he gets the speaker's gavel, will be one of the best speakers we have ever had. This, as a country, one of the best that we have ever had. All right. But yeah, that was what I did. I came home and I said, look, I gotta figure this out, man. I've got to know where are we starting. And yeah, boom, 100%. I'm on the Harris train. She's got access to the money. She's got access to the infrastructure. It is all legal. There's nothing the Republicans can do about it. Joe Biden has unbound his delegates and he has told them to vote for Kamala Harris. He's not the only one either. You've got Jamie Raskin has already come out and endorsed Kamala Harris. And you're going to see a series of endorsements coming out for Kamala Harris over the next few days. Now, let's be clear about this. The people that were trying to force Joe Biden out of the race because they were really trying to get rid of Kamala Harris, those billionaire donors are still there and still working. They're going to try to force somebody down our throat. And let me tell you, that would be the worst mistake that anybody could make. That is one of the few things I could think of that might cost us this election. This is one of the, and again, the reason they felt so comfortable doing that, is because, I saw Eric Swalwell mentioned. Yeah, he's fantastic. He really is. There's some talking points again with MAGA about him, but they're bullshit. But still, AOC, she's another one. She's like Jasmine Crockett. She's got hang time. She's going to be a big time Democrat. She is. I don't think this is her year. I don't know. What do you folks think? AOC? Yes? No? We're a community here. We're having a discussion. This isn't just me doing a show. We're having a discussion. Thanks for the support. I appreciate you. See, I'm seeing a lot of people that feel the exact same way. I mean, they'd vote for her if she was on the ticket, but there are so many people out there. A lot of people that are inside politics, that pay attention to politics, are talking about J.B. Pritzker. Again, the negative is, I didn't show you a picture to remind people who J.B. Pritzker is. J.B. Pritzker is, he's the governor of Illinois, and he's got more money than Jesus. He is a scrapper, one hell of a fighter. He is. No joke. No joke. He is really good on his feet in a fight. You're going to get fat jokes. You are. Let me see if I can find a picture of him that's, there aren't a lot of pictures of J.B. Pritzker that are, it's going to be a little bit grainy and nothing I can do about it. This is J.B. Pritzker, folks. He's governor of Illinois. Again, one of the negatives is we already have Illinois. We're going to win Illinois. We are. He's not bringing anything to the table. He's not like a Gretchen Whitmer or Andy Beshear or Josh Shapiro, where they're bringing swing states. I mean, we've got Illinois, but he is not aesthetically. This is no Gavin Newsom. We're not, you know what I mean? He is not tall. He is not handsome. He is round and rotund like me. So on a national scale, I don't know. That's going to be a strong negative. But man, when he opens his mouth, good God, I would not want to be in a no cameras there so nobody could see and we could cuss as much as we wanted to fight with J.B. Pritzker. That guy is a brawler. He really is. So a lot of people inside politics have mentioned J.B. Pritzker. I think that's one of your leading choices right there, Gretchen Whitmer, Big Gretch. Because it excites the women base even more than just having Kamala Harris on the ticket. And again, yeah, folks keep mentioning Mark Kelly. Mark Kelly would be a good choice. He's an astronaut, a hero. Folks mentioning Mark Cuban. No. This changes the narrative, and you're getting a lot of trolls out there like this. The Russians went to work as soon as this announcement came out, and be miserable. It's over. We're done. We're doomed. No, Sherrod Brown will not be on the ticket. He has so many negatives right now after calling for President Biden to step down. There's no way he's going to be on the ticket. Mark Cuban has baggage like you wouldn't believe. No, he's not going to be on the ticket. The bots are out there, folks. They've gone to work. It's trying to sow discord in the party, and they're trying to discourage people. They are. And I'm removing people even in our chat. But yeah, folks, I mean, are there any questions? Is there anything I didn't cover? How are you feeling about this? Michelle Obama doesn't want the job. She does not want the job. She doesn't. That's a Republican fever dream about their fever nightmare, I should say, about her coming along. Westmore, possibility. Sheldon Whitehouse, no national appeal whatsoever. None. Roy Cooper is being mentioned a lot. Again, and this is, let me show you. This is Roy Cooper. All right. There we go. This is Roy Cooper. Katie Porter, it's not going to be Katie Porter. That would be a double California ticket. And if they're going to do a double California ticket, why not take Gavin Newsom? It's not going to be Katie Porter. This is Roy Cooper. He's Democratic governor of North Carolina. Absolutely would be a tremendous help to the ticket. He would. It would be a tremendous help to the ticket. So what do you guys think about my idea? Let's offset the ticket with a flag officer. Is that something that you could get behind? Even if it's not Eric Smith, even if it's someone else. And this is the thing. This is the one thing that's actually making me feel really good in all of this. Really, that's making me feel really good for this is I'm looking at these names, that you folks keep putting out, and they're just really not there. I mean, we are stacked. This is going to be good. This is going to be good. And everything that the trolls, all the Hunter Biden stuff just evaporated. Gone. All right. Banned a couple more trolls. They're worried. If they're spending money on the trolls, man, we got them worried. Mitch Landrieu is going to probably end up working in the White House. He's been working behind the scenes. I think he's liking it there. I have spoken to Mitch Landrieu 18 months ago or so. I don't think he's really interested. If you search the internet close enough, you'll see pictures of me sitting next to Mitch Landrieu at the White House. Oh, wouldn't that make some heads explode? uh, this. This is one that crossed my mind. It was kind of interesting. Elizabeth Warren. That makes the candidate the ticket a 2-woman ticket, which again I don't have a problem with that when it's Gretchen Whitmer, but I don't think Elizabeth Warren. I don't know. I don't think she gives enough people the fuzzies, the warm fuzzies. I don't know. Am I wrong about that? I don't pretend to be completely in touch and in tune with. I wish Titus was here. He's a guy that is in touch with the people much more than I am. I like Elizabeth Warren, but I don't think she's really super exciting. I don't know. What do you think? Am I wrong about that? David Jolly's a Republican, and I don't want a Republican now. Look, let me tell you, talking about Elizabeth, let me tell you why. Okay, it's not anything. I like Elizabeth Warren. I do. I really do. But here's the thing. This is a challenge that Kamala Harris faces. And I know this talking to my wife. Okay. Kamala Harris is a prosecutor. When she speaks, even when she's campaigning, she's very, very thoughtful and deliberative about her manner of speech. She doesn't riff a lot. You don't see her just cut loose. She thinks through everything she says. Then combine that with the fact that if you look at her nose, she's got a bit of a nasal tone to her speech pattern. And I can't duplicate it. I can't. Um, her demeanor and she's not. I am telling you, she is the sweetest, warmest person you have ever met. But that tone, that speech pattern that she has, and the nasal tone gives people the feeling. And my own wife has told me this, that she seems like she comes off as, what's the word I'm looking for? Like a snob. People that don't know her kind of every once in a while get put off and think that she sounds like a snob. And she's not. Cold. There you go. That's a great way to put it. Not a snob, cold. That is a great way to put it. Because she's very calculated. That's why when she came off that plane wearing a set of Chucks just bouncing along, I was like, yes, please. More of that. More of that. You know what I mean? So I don't think we need, that was the wrong word. It's just, I'm trying to come up with the best way to put it. I don't think we need two women that have similar methods of speech that are, you know what I'm saying? We don't have to do that. We don't have to. We have tons of choices. Exactly. Analytical. Thank you. I love you people so much. Analytical. That's the right word. She comes off as very analytical. She does. And exactly. Elizabeth Warren has that very New England speech pattern. She also comes off as very analytical. I don't think those two things, I don't think that's the best choice. I don't think that's the best choice for a single ticket. I think we have the opportunity to mix things up. That's why I'm like, please, God, somebody let me get in and recommend Eric Smith, because I think Eric Smith would be fantastic as a juxtaposition to Elizabeth Warren. That guy cusses. He does. That guy cusses, man. Well, I hope you're feeling better, because talking to you folks has made me feel better. Are there any questions? Is there anything that I haven't really talked about that you folks want to talk out, or anything? I just want to, I don't know about you. I was heartbroken when I heard it. I was so proud of President Biden. You know, I was just proud. I mean, it broke my heart, but I was very proud. He did it. He handled this with such grace and dignity. And you could tell he just gives a shit about the country. Eric Smith is apolitical. He's not a Democrat. He's not a Republican. He would have to become a Democrat. And I think, given the choice between sucking Putin's taint and an administration that will stand up for NATO, I don't think it would be a hard sell to get Eric Smith to jump on board. Mark Kelly would be a great choice. He really would. He would be a great choice. He would. I do want to leave you with this, though, because I'm seeing a lot of people that are echoing the sentiments that I had. I don't have. Eric Smith is the commandant of the Marine Corps. He's a 4-star general. He was appointed by Joe Biden to be commandant of the Marine Corps. He's got enough medals on his chest to give him scoliosis. All right. Yeah, I like Mark Kelly too. I do. And I do think that she'll pick a male as a vice president. I don't think Jamie Raskin's the best choice for a VP. One, he just got over cancer. I don't know if he's physically up to the next 3 months of campaigning. And two, he doesn't have, outside of the Democratic Party, he doesn't have much recognition. I don't know that he would be the best choice. He would be a good choice. Again, I keep saying this. I mean, there's just no way to argue. There's no way to argue that. I mean, it's really hard to screw this up. I mean, this is going forward. I mean, think about any one of these choices we've discussed, and then there are a dozen more that we haven't discussed. If you choose any one of them going forward, think about the narrative, how it's changed. I mean, yes, the corporate media is still going to be an attack dog for Trump. It's still going to happen. He's still going to be that's going to happen. But think about how much the narrative has changed. Yes, General Smith is from Texas. I believe he was born in Denton. And yes, that would put Texas in play. Absolutely. Yeah, and great point, Amy. Any senator or congressperson, we're going to be battling it out for the legislature. Any one of them, even ones that could be appointed by the replacement could be appointed by a Democrat. I don't want to give up any incumbents. I don't want to give up any at all. Yeah, Jackie, we talked about Hillary Clinton. That would make some heads explode. Colin Allred, he a locally known congressman here in Texas. He's gotten national name recognition because he's going to take out Ted Cruz. Now let's work on getting Colin Allred in the Senate. I don't think he needs to be. No, not Larry Hogan. No damn Republican. He's an asshole. A couple of people mentioning Jon Stewart. I agree with you. I like the idea of Eric Smith. I do. I like the idea of Eric Smith. And there are 24 other 1, 2, 3, and 4-star generals that would make fine choices. No, not Dwayne Johnson. He's been a turn. I don't know if you haven't been paying attention. Dwayne Johnson's a damn turncoat. He is a Trump sucktard. Well, folks, it's been an hour, and I don't want to keep it going for too terribly long here. I just wanted you to feel better about what was going on. I wanted you to hear what I'd checked on about the Harris campaign being able to absolutely use the war chest that they've already amassed. It transfers over to her. There is going to be no legal questions about the delegates. Joe Biden has absolutely released his delegates, and he has endorsed Kamala Harris and told his delegates to vote for Kamala Harris. We're going to do the virtual roll call sometime between August 1st and August 7th. They're not announcing when it is because, again, they're trying to avoid, for security reasons, they're trying to avoid shenanigans. So, yeah, 2 weeks before our convention, we will have a choice in place. Millie's a Republican. No, Adam Kinziger's a Republican. Stop listing Republicans to me. No, we are the Democratic Party. All right, folks. Well, I love you. We are done. Thank you for being here. I hope this has put your mind at ease. I hope it's got you excited. Things have changed. The fight is on, baby. The fight is on. Let's do it. Let's do this. Enjoy some Texas cities at night.